Hi guys, welcome back to my Yoga for Seniors series. Today we're going to be doing a sequence for spinal health, and we are going to be doing this at the wall. So go ahead and grab your mat. You want to put it lengthwise away from the wall, and just grab your block and we're ready to get started. So when I am starting a sequence at the wall, I really like to start in just this Tadasana position, and we can start with feet hip distance apart. Gives us a little more support. So I want you to feel your booty just touching the wall. You don't want it pressed up real tight. And just feel your weight balance through the right and left foot, and I want you to rock from side to side a little bit and kind of tune in with your core as well, and just feel that core engage a little bit. And I'd like you to really stay rooted through your feet and engage those thighs. Go ahead and press those thighs back towards the wall. So without locking the knees, go ahead and press those thighs back and tailbone forward. So forming just a strong support for our spine, and go ahead and just roll those shoulders back. So starting the standing position, you probably noticed that your shoulders are rolled forward a little bit. That forward head posture, not good for the spine. So let's just start rolling those shoulders back. And the tricky part here is, as we work to open up the shoulders, the low spine can overarch. So just be mindful of tucking that tailbone in and rolling the shoulders back. And I'd like you to just let your palms face forward and go ahead and slide them up the wall. And you're going to start to feel more tension in your upper back the farther that you move your arms up. So really stretch through your fingertips. You're going to feel this in the upper part of your arm as well. And in this position, just creating more space in our upper back. So really reach through those fingertips, feeling rooted through the feet, and go ahead and release. And just notice if you are starting to kind of clench your toes or your jaw when you're concentrating, and just kind of relax. You can shake out those knees a little bit. And just one more time, go ahead and drawing in through your core, feeling rooted through the feet. I'd like you to let your palms face forward, so that really helps the upper back to open, and just start sliding your arms up the wall. So reaching all the way from your shoulder blades through your fingertips, allowing the shoulders to open, allowing the shoulder blades to become less sticky. So we're going to stay here for a good 20 seconds and relax your toes, feeling rooted through the feet, and tucking that tailbone in. Really reach through your fingertips, allowing the shoulder blades to open and become less sticky. And tuck your chin in. So forming integrity all throughout the spinal column, from the tailbone all the way to the base of the neck. And go ahead and release. So moving into a half forward fold, go ahead and we're going to form an L shape with our body. So moving nice and slow, go ahead and bring your hands about hip height and just start to walk yourself back. So you want those feet hip distance apart, and starting to stimulate the upper back in a different way. So go ahead and look up and just make sure that your fingertips are lined up. And so feeling rooted through your feet. I talk a lot about the tripods of the foot, below the big toe, below the little toe, and center of the heel. So feeling rooted, engaging those thighs, and most importantly, really pressing through your palms, drawing the shoulder blades in. Notice if you are clenching your neck or your jaw, and just relax, let your neck soften, let your toes soften. So really practicing effortless effort here. And press through those palms, draw the shoulder blades in. It's almost as if you're trying to come into a slight back bend for your upper back. It's very subtle in how it looks. And go ahead and just step yourself maybe a foot forward, and coming into Tadasana position, feeling rooted through the feet. Go ahead and bring your palms to heart center. I'd like you to just bring your palms overhead and interlace your fingers. So feeling that length in the spine, drawing the tailbone in. Keep that length and go ahead and just hold your head and start to lift your shoulder blades up towards the sky. So just letting your chest be supported as it lifts and opens, and drawing those elbows back for a greater opening in the chest. If you feel pinching in your low spine, you might need to tuck that tailbone in a little bit. You're probably overarching. And breathe. And go ahead and release. And coming back into that forward fold, go ahead and if you need to step forward a little bit, you can reposition your hands. So hands are hip height. You can just walk yourself back. And as we move deeper into our practice, you should start to feel more warmth, more openness in your upper back and along your whole spine. So forming that L shape with our body, rooting down through our feet, really press through those palms, feeling length in the spine, soften those knees, and drawing the shoulder blades forward. And let's just spend the next 15 seconds or so just breathing into our spine, into our core, into our feet. And I am going to go ahead and just walk forward maybe half a foot and let your arms fall towards the mat. You can wrap your hands around your legs, or you can bring your hands onto the mat, just coming into a full forward fold for a moment. So being mindful of lengthening through your whole spine, rolling those shoulders back, and just moving into a deeper stretch for our legs. And just a few deep breaths here, rolling those shoulders back. Notice if you're holding your head up, and just let your head relax. And go ahead and walk it out just a little bit, just a very soft bend on the left knee. And if this feels uncomfortable, you can go back to half forward fold and do the exact same thing. And soft knees, strong thighs, and come on up. All right, so one last time we're going to do a half forward fold on the wall, and we're going to work into something a little bit different. So bring your hands hip height and go ahead and walk yourself back. This should be starting to feel pretty comfortable at this point. So please stay here if moving forward feels like you're not quite ready for it. I encourage discomfort, but I do not encourage pain. So just listen to your body. So from this forward fold position, if you'd like to explore further, go ahead and so you want to step your left foot in between where your feet are and the wall. So maybe a foot and a half for me, but everybody's different. Everybody has different legs. So go ahead and just step yourself forward, and you're going to step your right leg back slightly. So this can be a little bit tricky if you feel really stiff in your upper back. So the goal here is basically to form a straight line from the wall, from where my hands are all the way to my tailbone. And if the upper back is really stiff, it can be difficult to do that. So working towards a full position. So if this feels like too much, you can walk yourself towards the wall and walk your hands up. So wherever you're at, I'd like you to practice that full length in the spine, and you can walk forward as much as you need to. And just really encourage that length in the spine. And we're stretching the front leg. So I'd really like you to feel that in that hamstring and that calf. And if this feels too easy, you can start walking yourself back. And let's just take a few breaths. Really enjoying that length in the spine and that space in the leg, that forward leg. And go ahead and step that back leg in a little bit. We're going to come back into our half forward fold. If you begin to feel tired, let's actually all just hang for a moment. So you can just grab hold of your elbows and just let your head hang, let your knees soften. Just take a few breaths here. And let's get back into our half forward fold. You can just bring your hands into position and opposite side. So I'm going to go ahead and walk my right foot about halfway. And that's just generally where everyone can start, and you just got to listen to your body. And the goal is to form a straight line parallel to the floor with your spine. And again, if it feels like too much, you can just walk yourself forward and walk your hands up the wall. So forming a straight line with your spine, really encouraging that upper back to open wherever you're at. And a few more breaths here. Relax your toes, relax your jaw. And half forward fold, go ahead and step that back leg in. And let's all come to a standing position. So I'm just going to, if you want to go ahead and move your mat so that it's lengthwise against the wall. Okay, so now that we are standing, go ahead and grab your block, and we're going to do Tadasana again at the wall. So go ahead and just, so you still want your booty to be just touching the wall, and your feet are going to be a little further apart. So you want your inner thighs snug against the block. So booty touching, thighs snug against that block. This is a really good teacher for learning how to really draw the thighs back and move the tailbone in. And it's also helpful in engaging our core, which is really helpful for standing work. So in this position, feeling rooted through the feet and rolling those shoulders back. So as we roll the shoulders back, letting this block kind of help guide us in engaging the thighs and the legs properly in a really healthy way that's going to support the spine. So rooting down through the feet, we're going to stay here for a good 30 seconds. So just exploring this position, feeling those thighs draw back and in towards the block and drawing the tailbone forward, rolling those shoulders back. And I'd like you to let your palms face forward. Go ahead and just slide those arms up the wall. And notice this might be a little bit easier than last time. So feeling more space, less stickiness in those shoulder blades, and really reaching through the fingertips. Go ahead and draw the chin down. So your nice long spine through that neck area, and breathe. So you're gonna feel some burn in the arms, So just breathing into those arms, really lengthening through that spine, feeling totally supported. Another few breaths here. And go ahead and release, and we can get rid of this block. And you can just set your block to the side. And let's get started with triangle. So throughout this wall work, your leg, your foot position and your booty position is about the same. So you want to be supported by the wall. So you can just separate your feet. And again, everybody's body is different. So in general, your wrists are going to be over your ankles, but it might be more or less depending on your body. So let's all pivot to the right. So you want to pivot your right foot, and that back foot is maybe a 45-degree angle. And so go ahead and bring your palms are going to face down this time, but really feel that spread across the shoulder blades and feel rooted through your feet. And go ahead and just lengthen through that side body, and you can start to work your way down. So the wall is here to help us really continue to open in our chest. So let that upper arm really be guided by the wall, and you can let that right hand just slide down the leg. And at any point, if you begin to feel like it's too much, just back up a little bit, and it's all the same work. Just letting that hand slide down the leg. Eventually, the goal is to get that hand closer to the floor. So wherever you're at, reaching through those fingertips overhead, relax the face, and feeling rooted through the feet. Long spine here. And another few breaths. Nice and slow, use the strength in the thighs, and you can just rest your hands on your hips for a minute. And let's pivot to the opposite side. And just making sure that we're nice and supported by the wall, but we're not just collapsing onto it. And so the main thing here is just be careful of collapsing in the side body. You want the spine to stay nice and long. So opposite side, let's just let that left hand slide down the wall. And just like when we were standing before, really allowing that openness to happen deep in the scapula and the shoulder blade area. So we reach through the fingertips, feeling rooted through the feet, and breathing. And just feeling comfortable with the uncomfortable, and exploring this position. Breathing. And slowly just press through the feet, come on out, and you can step the feet together. And that is it for our practice today. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed today's class, and I really look forward to seeing you next time. And if you did like this video, we actually have a yoga app called Yoga Plus. There's a lot of great content on there, and I really look forward to seeing you there.
Welcome to Yoga Plus. Courses available from pupil to yogi. Sort by yoga, fitness, and instructors. Create your own routines. Access the pose library. Yoga Plus by Psyche Truth, available on Google Play and the App Store.
Join us for 14 and 30-day programs, hour-long classes, and much more on our yoga app, Yoga Plus by Psyche Truth. It's free to download and features a variety of wellness content, including yoga, fitness,